Hello there and welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you a project I have been working on, and I have recently discovered the GIST feature of GitHub, and I thought it would be great to have a script that is able to execute these GISTs, and these scripts which you define in the GIST platform do not need to exist on that specific PC. So this could have kind of interesting results, and I would like to show you what I have kind of created, so to speak. So what we are going to need is first install the GitHub module. This is going to be needed to interact with the GitHub and GIST to be able to be pulled, because you need to use some form of authentication for that, even if it's just a public GIST. So let's create a new GIST, and this is going to be called prime GIST, and let's just call that prime.py. And what we are going to do is iterate over a range of numbers, let's say 1000, and if the I modulo 2 equals 0, or rather not equals to 0, we are going to say that we will use the f strings to print that this number is prime, and we will just print the I. Now what we are going to do is click on the create public GIST, and now we can go and write our own script. So first what we would like to do is reuse some portion of the artparse video that I have created. So we need to import the artparse module. You do not need to install it, it comes by default with Python. And this is a GIST demo for YouTube. What we are going to do is create the argument GIST ID. Let's call it by its name, so GIST ID. It is going to be a string, and we only need one value, and we call it this is the ID of the GIST. This is going to come forward when you do not specify the appropriate argument. So if the arguments dot GIST ID is specified, we will proceed. Otherwise, what we would like to do is use the arguments dot print underscore cap, and this will print the help message for this module. Now let's see if we can run our gist.py. As you can see, we need to call it on the parser itself. So, sorry. So basically, this will print the help message. Now, what we would like to do is import the OS module. This is optional. This is needed because I have stored my GitHub credentials in environment variables, because I do not want you to know my credentials for the GitHub, because that might give some people funny ideas. So this is going to be used for that. We are going to import from the GitHub module the GitHub class. And basically that's all for the import now. And what we would like to do is create the gthb variable that is going to be coming from the GitHub class, and we will use the getemp of the OS module to get the G user, and use the getemp gpass. Now, after we have created our object, what we can use is the get GIST function, and for the get GIST we are going to specify the GIST ID, which we have as the argument. Now what we could do is refer to the refer to the files of this specific function calls, because it will return an object, and now I will call it gister, and if I just simply print the gister dot files, what I should see is the following. So let me use the gist ID. This is going to be here. I know it's not really convenient, but for the demo's sake, it could be done like this. Now what you can see is a dictionary, and this dictionary holds a key value pair. The key is the name of the file, and the value is an object, which is called the gist file. So now what I would like to do is access the content of that specific gist file object, and I can do it the following way. So you can define multiple files for your gists, and what I would like to do is to iterate over every file. So for key in gister.files.keys, and first let's just access this specific object. So gister.files.key. Now if I run it again, I can see the gist file, and I can access the content of that specific file this way, dot content. And as you can see, here we have our script which is going to print the prime numbers. Now what I would like to do is import the AST module, and this AST module has a parse function. The AST module is the abstract syntax tree module. I have a video on that as well. You can check it out. I'm not going to go into any details now, but for now, let's call this the magic function. So now, if I call the ast.parse and I specify the content, I should see something like this. I have an AST module object, and what I can do now is, let's say, compile this specific object, and I call the compile function on this, and for the compile function I need to specify file name and the mode. The file name will come from the key, and the mode is going to be exec. Now if I run it again, I can see that I have this compiled object, and what I can do now is to call the exec function on this specific compiled object. And there it is. So let's make it a little bit more clean, so to speak. Now I would like to edit it. Or not? Yes, let's edit it. So let's go just for, let's say 50. And let's run it again. It's much nicer, and what I would like to do is, let's say, print the following: executing the file from gists of GitHub. Let's make it an F string and run it again. Very good. So it seems to be working. And basically this was all I wanted to show you. This is kind of just a prototype, and there is a plan in the future to make it, let's say, able to acquire arguments for the specific script that you would like to, let's say, run. This was all, and I would like to thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more.